What's good, Beast Hounds? It's your boy, No Gains McMuffin Top here, bringing you a typical full day of eating when I'm dieting, which has been for some time now. There's a couple of reasons I wanted to do this. One, for years and years, I was on the keto train, yo-yoing around, thinking the only way of getting lean was to cut out carbs, and the only other way I saw it done was bodybuilders eating chicken and rice and broccoli 3 times a day, having a shite time. If I'd have known that all I had to do to get a six-pack was eat like this, a way that I enjoy, I think I'd have got to a physique I was comfortable in a lot sooner. So I'm hoping this video will give you some ideas and expedite the process for you. I'm also mildly interested in what the way I eat costs, so I'm going to share the budget with you, and I'm not going to miss a thing out. Every calorie, every macro, every glass of water, this is how I live. In that spirit, while I'm usually pretty hot on weighing everything I eat, part of my diet strategy is to not sweat the small stuff. So I don't measure the milk in my tea, I don't measure sauerkraut, low calorie sauces, sweeteners, all that super low calorie stuff. I've just adjusted my calories low enough that even with those things being vague, I'm still in a deficit. And if I'm super hungry, I'll just whack on more kraut or whatever. And that freedom makes me feel like I'm not going to go crazy. But I am mildly curious as to what my actual calorie intake is. So doing this for you means I can do that for me. Let's go. It's 9:30, I'm fresh out of bed, fight me. I'm going to trog downstairs and make myself a cup of tea. I like Yorkshire Tea's biscuit brew because it is delicious. In my Mahusive Spider-Man mug, I'll take 2 sweeteners, and that's 30 millilitres of skimmed milk. It's about 11 a.m. now. I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. A little bit of caffeine in that tea and a lot of caffeine in this coffee are going to suppress my hunger and turn me into a functional human being. When I say it suppresses hunger, I don't want you to think that that is effort. I'm not fighting hunger with caffeine. I enjoy my tea that tastes like biscuits. I enjoy my coffee that tastes like, well, this morning it tastes like maple pecan bourbon. And also, I'm not hungry. When I'm hungry, I'll eat. I think it's very important for a diet not to be a struggle. I've done struggle diets with harsh calorie restrictions, pointless restrictions like no carbs, no food on a Wednesday, no artificial sweeteners. They don't work, or maybe they produce results, but unless you keep up that restriction, you aren't going to keep the physique that it's given you. I, and probably you, have the luxury of not having a deadline for getting the physique you want, so pick a moderate deficit, find things you enjoy to fill it, and enjoy your life. Every day you're going to be in better shape than you were the day before, and once you learn to appreciate that, it's not so bad that it might take you 3, 6, 9, 12, 24 months to get where you want to be, because you're always improving. You're never struggling or dying for this diet to be over. And because of that, when you reach a goal, you've already made this a lifestyle, and you get the joy of increasing your calories back up to maintenance. You don't reach the end of your diet and think, thank God that's over, and eat all the cake until you're back where you started. You've learned to enjoy the process and have reached sustainability. I'll drink about a litre of water between now and breakfast. Okay, I'm hungry now. It's around 1 p.m, and like every other day, I'm eating waffles. I know I go on about this recipe all the time, but it really is the Mutt's nuts. It's high protein, high volume, low calorie, and even though I've eaten it literally 97 days out of the last 100, it still feels like a treat. It's frickin' waffles. I'll probably drink another litre of water between breakfast and lunch, which for me is around 3:30. Pretty much every day I'll have 2 pieces of Danish bread, 200 grams of turkey ham, lightest mayo, sauerkraut, and maybe a packet of puffed hula hoops. I am really boring. I eat the same thing every day except for dinner and treats, which makes staying on track super easy, because every day I know what calories I have to play with after breakfast, lunch and skier are taken care of. But honestly, even before I was dieting, I had eggs and toast for breakfast every day and probably a tuna sandwich for lunch. There's nothing magic about this lunch. I like to eat bread, so I found the lowest calorie bread that doesn't suck. It's Warburton's Danish bread, by the way. Tesco's and Aldi's versions are lower in calories, but Warburton's is actually soft and bready. I like crisps, so I found the lowest calorie crisps that don't suck. I like sauerkraut, I like turkey. You might find processed meats gross. I'm from a German family, so I don't. And one of my role models growing up was a gamekeeper. I have it ingrained in me that if something's got to die for me to eat, then we should waste as little as possible. So if I have to eat turkey's lips and arseholes, I would prefer it to be in ham form. Finding small variations in the same foods is another way of not feeling like your diet is a trudge. My waffles, I can cook them for 2 minutes and have them soft and cakey, or 3.5 minutes and have them crispy and airy. I can have no sauce, maple, chocolate, strawberry. None of it makes a difference to the calories, but those little variations are enough to keep me excited about what I'm eating. For lunch, I could toast the bread. I could not toast the bread. One of each. I could have any flavour hoolas. I could have Snacker Jacks. I'm not saying I couldn't have something else completely different if I wanted to, but most days I'll have a variation on this because it fits with the plan and I enjoy it. If you're not enjoying a diet, it's not going to be sustainable. Def it off and find something that works for you. It's about 5 o'clock now, and between lunch and now I've drunk a litre of Vimto sugar-free squash. I got bored of water. Do the rightest thing you can while it's easy, and when it stops being easy, you'll have somewhere to go. If you're drinking squash all day, then when you get bored, you can need somewhere else to go that feels like a treat. That usually means calories. So start on water, and you can move up to squash, and you got a treat that's not calories. Up here for dancing. Training is at 6:30. I like to coffee up around 5:30. The thing that works in pre-workout is caffeine. Coffee has caffeine. I like coffee. I'd rather take in the magical chemical blend that makes this caramel syrup 0 calorie than the magical chemical blend that makes your pre-workout a trade secret. Big coffee good, caramel syrup good. If I was having a day off with my girlfriend or I just felt extra spicy today, I might make an exciting latte. Skimmed milk, sugar-free syrup, and you have a delicious dessert drink that is still low in calories and feels like a treat. Always have something that you can have that's not really disruptive to the plan, but makes your brain think, ooh, so naughty. I've also started getting in some simple carbs during the hour before training. I have on the whole found my workouts to be at least more enjoyable when I do this. It's also a great excuse to eat something proper naughty. It's winter, that means Lebkuchen and Spekulatius. I used to nosh these by the bagful, no coming up for air, and it's one of my proudest adult achievements that I can now savour just one. If you're gonna eat garbage, make sure it's delicious. It really doesn't matter when you eat it, fat loss wise, it's always gonna be your total calories in versus total calories out that matters, but if it's pre-workout, you at least know that it's gonna be around when you need it, It's going to a good cause. Post-training and dinner time. Shakshuka tonight, another meal I enjoy. I honestly don't remember the last time I had a meal that I didn't enjoy. Enjoy your food. That's got to be the point. Tonight I'm having it with cauliflower rice, but one of the best things I've learned in the last year is that carbs are not the enemy. Low-carb dieting saw me yo-yoing because the plan was too much of a chore to stick with. And even if I had 6 months perfect keto, the 2-week rebound would be so full of the stuff that I couldn't have that I just end up basically where I started, and the cycle repeats. I've also found out that my body likes carbs. If I eat too many of them, I'll want to eat more, but I found a level that makes me feel good and doesn't turn me into the biscuit bandit. I've built more muscle in the same period of time as a more advanced lifter on carbs than I did as a less advanced lifter off carbs. And while my programming is better, it's much easier to build muscle when you're new at it. So I must have been really crippling my ability to do so going clinical keto. While it might be terrific for overall health, low carb, moderate protein is not great for muscle growth in my experience. Also, and here's the dark side of getting lean, when I'm on lower calories, I like to go high protein, primarily for satiety. But within a calorie budget, that means there's only so much room for carbs. If I cut them down too low, I find that I am pissing all night, anywhere from 2 to too many times. Sleep is so important for having a nice life, let alone muscular recovery, the studies that link lack of sleep with Alzheimer's and the like. Nothing is worth messing with your sleep, in my opinion. If I have a lower carb dinner like this one, I'll make sure I have a high carb snack before bed to minimise the micturation. Sometimes it's Snacker Jacks, tonight it's popcorn. I love salt and vinegar flavoured popcorn. You can either buy powders online, or all I did was dissolve salt into vinegar and then let it dry back out. It's good, it's cheap, no worries. If you predicted waffles in this video, I'm sure you can also predict what's coming next. Skier. I am seriously addicted to this stuff. I have a pot every night. This is Issei brand. All their flavours are delicious, but this one, baked apple, is the best. Insanely tasty, low calorie, high protein, takes a long time to eat. The casein is slow digesting protein, so it helps you stay anabolic throughout the night. What's not to like? It's winter, and I like to have a hot chocolate in the evenings. It happened, I'm old. This is Asda's own light hot chocolate. It's 40 or so calories made with water, the same as Options, except Options is £4 a tub and this is £1.39. I'll make it mostly with skimmed milk, frothed in this Ninja frother, which makes better steamed milk than the one on my espresso machine, and I highly recommend it. And that's it. I hit exactly 2,250 calories, all inclusive, which is my current goal. The stuff I wouldn't usually bother counting came to 85 calories, so on a day when I eat to the max, I'm probably getting around 2,335 calories. I don't think 85 calories is a big deal. I don't think it's worth the extra effort to count. I know some people weigh their bread. That seems like too far for me. Yeah, your slice is probably not exactly the same every time, but they already figured out what that averages out to. Sweating the small stuff is too stressful. It's not conducive to having a nice life, so unless there's a financial incentive for you to be a certain weight on a certain date, chill out, man. I keep my mornings low calorie so I can snack in the evening. You might call that intermittent fasting. Really, I just eat when I'm hungry, and snacking in the evening makes me feel relaxed. I've enjoyed every single meal I've had. I've had 148 grams of protein. That's more than I need. 36 grams of fat, happy days, 260 grams of carbs. I shan't wet the bed. I never felt hungry. I never felt constricted by my diet, and I really do feel like I could do this forever. And I'm in a deficit. I've been losing weight consistently for 6 months now. Everything's been good, no struggle. I hope you can take some of this diet strategy and find things you enjoy and make it work for you. Also, worth mentioning, take baby steps. I'm 6 months deep into this. I didn't just jump from eating a biscuit barrel a day to this. I started with a smaller deficit and I reduced further when my weight loss slowed. I was eating 6 whole eggs a day for the first 2 or 3 months because I fit in my plan and I enjoyed it. If you'd time traveled and told me that I'd be eating no whole eggs a day in 3 months, I'd have guessed that I probably died. Baby steps, do what you can now. Eventually that will get comfortable and there will be new baby steps to take. If you jump into something a world away from what you're eating now, the chances are you'll struggle. We don't need perfection, we just need progress. My day's food came to £9.42. Initially, I was a little taken aback by that. That seems like a lot, but I don't smoke. I drink maybe once every 2 months. I don't have any expensive hobbies, and attaining succulence is my main goal right now. This is just an optimally enjoyable way of me getting there. Don't think it has to be prohibitively expensive. There are a million ways I could save money on my shop. I could not spend £2 a day on skier, for example, but that is less than a cup of takeaway coffee. Maybe I'll do a budget day of cutting for you in the future, but for now, I hope you can take something useful away from this. I hope it helps you on your journey to getting shred nasty. And as always, my friends, get them gains. Be well.